Hi, this is Dr. Alan Widener from MassageChairRelief.com, and today we are meeting with Tom Tam, who is one of our customers who used to live in Utah and bought a chair from us years and years ago, but most recently lives in Las Vegas and recently purchased another chair from us. But Tom, thank you so much for being on this interview with me today. I appreciate it very, very much.
You're welcome. Glad to be with you and share my experience.
Well, tell me a little bit about, I'd like to go back to the chair you had before, which was an iconic chair. I actually just talked about it today in my massage chair industry update, the Inada Dreamwave. That was a chair you had originally, wasn't it? And that was, in its day, was iconic. It changed the whole playing field of massage chairs back in the day. You know, totally different design, different use of massage airbags, really an iconic chair. And they just recently discontinued it. So it's end of life, but that's like 11, 12 years ago. So that's one of the longest running lifespans of a chair I've ever seen. But tell me a little bit about your experience with massage chairs there, and then how you decided on the chair that you have today, which is the Daiwa Supreme Hybrid.
Okay.
And what was it that inspired you to want to get a hybrid instead of going back to the style of chair you had before?
Yeah, yes, I remember it was around 2007, 8, that time frame when I went to your showroom and tried out some massage chairs. The reason that I was interested in a massage chair back then was that about 25 years ago, I had some back pain. My back gave me problems almost about 25 years ago. It first started. And to those that have never experienced your back giving out on you, that's not a fun experience. And I'm sure you, as a chiropractor, you have come across many people with back problems. And so since then, I've had live massage therapy, physical therapy, try to do a lot of stretching, exercise. That's what really is important anytime you have back problems. And then as you age, always going to a live massage therapist is not as convenient or practical or costly, quite frankly. And so I was looking for a massage chair, and after just trying a couple, and then you show me the Inada Sonyo Dreamwave, that was, like you said, that was like way ahead of the time back then, with the airbags and the wave vibrations, and it was just a very comfortable chair. And so I bought it and I used it probably not as regularly as I probably should have. And I've realized that one of the keys to regularly using your massage chair is strategic placement. When I first bought that massage chair, I had an empty room inside and an exercise room. So I actually put it in my exercise, quote unquote, room. And most people don't exercise regularly. So you end up hardly ever seeing a massage chair. And it was on the second floor, and my bedroom was on the first floor. And so, you don't run into the chair that often. And then one thing leads to another. You just forget, and when it's time to go to bed, you go to bed. And so for the first few years, I didn't really use it a whole lot. But then I would say about 4 years ago, once we moved to Ivins, Utah, I had that massage chair right next to my bed, right in the corner of the bedroom. And I find myself using it every morning, using it every night, every day. And felt wonderful. That combined with my daily walks and exercises, made a whole lot of difference in how I felt. And so for a good while, for 3 or 4 years, I was very consistent in using it. And I was kind of wiping it down one day, and I flipped the cover, and lo and behold, I saw 2 small holes where the roller hit the inner fabric. And I said, gosh, I've used it so much every day for, 2 sessions, morning and night, has worn the fabric down. And quite frankly, at that point, I thought that, you know, it's been a dozen years or so since I've had this chair, and my back really needs deep tissue. I really like deep massages. Now the Sonio is pretty much a feel-good type of massage.
Yeah.
Both the airbags as well as the pressure is not going to hurt you. It just kind of puts you to sleep, and it's a good thing. But I thought, you know, I need my muscles to loosen up. And when you have back problems, as you know, as a chiropractor, your muscles around your spine, they tighten to try to support your spine, you know, because I have degenerative discs. And so it's not going to get any better. So your muscle is constantly contracted. And, you know, in my work, I sit a lot in front of the computer as well as in meetings and so forth. And when you're sitting, your glutes and your hamstrings get very tight. And so I just, you know, previous to that, the only way that I can loosen is to have a live massage. And then with the pandemic, you know, you're just not going to get that. So I tried to do other things to compensate, but it got to a point where I thought, you know, it's time for the technology change. I knew that massage chairs are even much farther ahead than the Dreamwave that I had.
Yeah.
And so I started doing some online research. And the first place I went was to your website. And you always have very good videos on different models and, you know, short little clips that give you a good overview of different massage chairs. And then I made a phone call. I was going to talk to you, but got connected to Sean. I think he's part of your Arizona location, and had a very good conversation with him. And he gave me some ideas. I told him my back, lower back aches and pains, and that I like a deep tissue massage chair, and plus I want to have stretching if possible, because the Dreamwave didn't really have a good stretch. It was an the L track. And so he right away, he suggested, he said, if that's what you want deep tissue, and if you want to have a good stretch, the Daiwa Supreme Hybrid is the chair. It's a very popular chair. So I had a good conversation, went online, went on a Daiwa website, read some more, do more research, read some customer reviews, and decided to go with it. And because of my previous good experience with shopping with you, I felt very comfortable, not even having to sit in a chair, knowing that it's going to work, just based on. And I figure that whatever you know, you're going to train your employees, you know, to interact with the customers in the same way. And so the three things that I really look for in a vendor, in whatever I buy, whether it's goods or services, I look for three things. Number one, do they know what they're talking about? Do they know the goods and services that they're providing? That's very important. Are they knowledgeable? Number two, service. Are they going to back up what they say? Not only during the sale, but post-sale as well. And my previous experience post-sale, even though I didn't have a lot of interaction, there were a couple of times I had to move. And I called you, and you know, you gave me some hints and ideas. And again, you had some videos in how to disassemble and move the Dreamwave. And that was good. And then your lifetime guarantee, if anything, you know, for parts, for labor, not parts, you know, that always is a good sign that your service is going to be behind your product. And then, and finally, it's just the pricing. The pricing, to me today, a lot of businesses gouge. I'm from the old school. You know, I believe in making a reasonable profit, win-win. But today is, I just find a lot of businesses, they worship money. It's like, that's the end goal. So they gouge. And based on my experience with you, as well as my research, I just find that based on your pricing, you believe in making a reasonable profit, to stay in business, obviously you have to do that, but you're not gonna to just to gouge people. And so those three things, you hit on all three of them. So I feel very comfortable doing business with you. I have in the past, dozen years ago, and I still do today. So
Thank you. Well, thank you, and appreciate those kind words. But that hybrid is a very different chair from the Dreamwave, and in
yes,
so many ways. And so, was it a little overbearing for you at first, or were you ready for it? Were you already adapted to the old chair, or did you find that it was a little bit too rough for you at first?
that's a good question. The good thing about the Daiwa Supreme Hybrid is that it's got extra padding. So it's got a couple of extra layers of padding. And so the transition is not as severe as without it. And so I definitely started out the chair, and I still use it with padding on for now. It's only been a couple of months, but I even with the padding, it gives you a nice firm massage. And then there's also adjustment menus where you can adjust the tension of those rollers. And so the adjustment period wasn't difficult at all. I mean, I adapted to it right away. In fact, I was looking for something firmer and give me a deeper penetration. And that in combination with the ability to stretch, because it's got two independent tracks, on your lower half and your upper half, that really was helpful. I went to a chiropractor several years ago in Salt Lake City. He had a traction table, horizontal, where you lay on it and it straps you down, and it tries to stretch you like with an inch, and he did that for like 10 minutes, on that table. And now nothing cures the root cause, right? I mean, if you have degenerative discs, it's not going to get better, but it will address the symptoms. It will relieve the pain.
Yeah.
It will relieve the tension. It will loosen up the muscles so that your muscle can regenerate and start being functional, for what it's intended to do. So I really like the deep tissue, as well as the ability to stretch my spine.
Yeah, that stretch is phenomenal. And that dual track was designed to flatten out so that you could get a similar stretch to an S-track chair like the Dreamwave. The Dreamwave had, compared to the other L tracks, the Dreamwave had a good stretch, but this Supreme Hybrid, it goes another step. It's a very intense massage. Plus, the Dreamwave never had the shoulder airbags.
Yes, I didn't realize a Dreamwave is an S-track and not an L-track. That's why I tried a stretching function on the Dreamwave, and it's okay. It doesn't. It definitely is not like the Daiwa. The Daiwa actually just pulls your upper part and your lower part so that you can feel the decompression on your spine.
I agree, and it's one of the great features of that chair. But boy, when I think of the Dreamwave, they didn't have foot rollers back then. They didn't have zero gravity positioning. They didn't have shoulder airbags to pin your shoulders back during the stretch. The L track, of course, they didn't have. So this is the chairs have come a long way, like you said. And
Yes.
boy, I think that L track is honestly, especially that dual L track is, I think, the greatest innovation we've seen in this industry in decades. But now, is there anything about that chair that you don't like, or that there's a feature that you wish was different, or something that maybe you wish the chair had that it doesn't have? The new one, the hybrid.
Yeah, in fact, I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I want to point out a couple of other things I like besides the stretch and the deep tissue. The other thing that I like about a chair is the user friendliness with the control panel, touchscreen. I mean, it's got 12 automatic program massages that can vary from, you can select 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or half an hour. And it's just an amazing program. And obviously, besides the auto, you have the manual selections that you can just customize for yourself. So that's very user friendly. The other thing that I like is the Bluetooth speakers.
Yeah.
And I can stream music from the internet. I can stream music from my preloaded music on my phone. And the sound of those speakers is like surround sound, when you're laying back and you don't have headphones on. It's like the speakers are right next to you. And it just you can choose any kind of music to your liking. And it's very relaxing to be able to listen to music and totally escape without distraction.
Right.
So those are additional things I like. Now the potential negative is not a real big negative, and I found in other chairs not having that function as well, is that if you do a manual selection of what you want to customize for a specific purpose, I wish there's a way that you can press memory, like memory one, then you'll be able to, instead of every time having to go to the manual setting and then select again, just hit that, just like the auto, it's your own auto that you can set up. They don't have that function to allow you to program a manual selection. That's about the only potential negative that I see in a chair. But like I said, the other chairs I've not find have that ability. I know the Dreamwave didn't have that ability, and the Dreamwave only had 8 automatic programs, and this one has 12, and it's so.
Well, the versatility of the chair, the ease of use, all these things you're talking about are those are the features that people like. The memory function, we don't see that a lot in chairs still, even to this day. There are some that have it, but even those that have it sometimes don't use it as much as they thought they would. So, but I understand what you're saying. It'd be nice to just not have to set up a program every time. Like if you want to focus your massage on your glutes or on your neck, it's nice to have it already pre-programmed. But yeah, there's many, most of the chairs don't have that. More and more are getting them, but there's still a relative few. Was there, what's the word? The comfort of the chair, the fit of the chair. Sometimes people can sit in a chair and it just doesn't feel right. Now, you'd never seen this chair before, and your experience was with the Dreamwave. So when this chair came and you sat in it, how did you feel at first? Was it comfortable to you, or did it take a little getting used to?
That's a good question. It's a very different chair than the Dreamwave. The Dreamwave is a little bit wider, I think. So when I'm not a big guy. I only weigh 160 something, 66 pounds or so. So and I'm 5'8". So based on my size, it's not a problem. Now, if you were 250 pounds, you might feel a little bit tighter in that chair than otherwise. But the rating on that chair, it goes up to 300 pounds. And 6'6", and so it as long as you're not greater than 300 pounds and 6'6", that chair fits you. But I think this chair, it's definitely for a more targeted demographic. Even though with the padding, you can have the padding on, and depending on the programs you select, you still can have a feel good massage on the chair. So for me, it was not a problem adjusting at all. Now, I watched one of the other YouTube videos, not yours, but some other reviewer. He mentioned that he wished that the scanning, once you get in the chair, it takes a little bit of time to register, because it scans your body full length, I think. And before it actually goes into the program to massage you, and the screen actually says scanning, so it's trying to register how tall you are, how wide you are, and so forth. And perhaps you have to do that every time, because even for one individual, you can change in terms of you might gain weight, I don't know if you get taller or shorter, but that reviewer said that he wishes that that you could just scan your body just once and then it gets recorded for that user. So again, you can push a button and then it records the scanning. But I think the reason that they do it every time is because that chair, it's got such specific, I mean, it's got 6 rollers, it's got, you know, it's very advanced in terms of its mechanics. It wants to, and then the pressure is typically deeper. And if they don't scan your body every time, they don't want to hurt you. You know, like if the pressure is applied in the wrong place, the human body is very sensitive. So that scanning, I think actually is a good safety prevention mechanism. So that to make sure that for every program that you select, it's customized to that program.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought of that. And of course, over time, your muscles change. You know, there's times when, you know, maybe in the beginning when it's really tight and tense and the rollers will go a little deeper, or you need them to go a little deeper. And then, you know, as time goes on, maybe those muscles settle down a bit. Maybe your spine doesn't need quite as intense a massage as it did before. So that's a good point, Tom. I appreciate you bringing that up. Now, for people who are searching for a chair, and a lot of people that will watch this video are people who are searching, they're looking for a chair. What sort of advice would you give them based on what you've learned? And of course, you're a seasoned veteran. You've been with massage chairs for, you know, years. What would be some advice that you would give someone who's looking for a chair or going through the shopping process?
Yeah, you know, certainly, if you live in the greater Salt Lake area, you know, visit your showroom and actually, you know, try out a chair. But if you're not, you know, typically in every city of any size, there are whatever brand that you're interested in, just go try it out. You know, you don't have to buy it from that place, you know, because of these other criteria that I mentioned in terms of, you know, can you trust, you know, the vendor you're doing business with? You know, what about service, not at time of sale, but also after, as well as the cost, you know, the fair value proposition, you know, is the price right? And I know you have a money back, or not a money back, well, you also have a money back 90-day guarantee. But the price matching, you know, that kind of gives people a safety net so that they don't have to worry as much. So today, again, with technology, you don't even have to be physically in the same city. Yeah, you can go try out chairs. Like if you want to buy electronics, you know, you can go to Best Buy and you can just, you know, hear the stereo, hear the TV, you know, just play with it and then come home and go onto the internet. If you want to buy it online, or go buy it from Costco, it's got a better warranty. You know, I've done that, you know, as well. So the purchase is not as important as feeling comfortable with what you're buying. And the best way to do that with a massage chair is, you know, try it out. Unless you have previous experience and the relationship and the trust like I do. And so I would suggest that. And the other thing is that I know it's a big purchase, you know, several $1,000s and up. Even the low end is probably a couple of $1,000s, and you certainly don't want to buy a massage chair that's cheap per se. When I say cheap, it's not well built. And I know you don't carry, even on your spectrum of low end to high end. If the chair is not reliable and dependable for its functionality, you're not going to waste your time to carry that brand. So what I mean by, you know, by cheap is that sometimes, you know, a person can go into or even Costco. I know I've seen some Costco massage chairs. You know, they have big sales. You know, 25-30% off or whatever, and then you read the reviews and it's a piece of junk. You know, because sometimes it's cheap for a reason, because they can't sell it. And so, you know, when it comes to price, I would suggest that you evaluate the value proposition. You know, what your needs are, what the function of the chair can do for you versus the price of comparable vendors that can sell the product to you. And if that makes sense, then it's the right price.
Yeah.
And I'm a financial person as well. In my consulting practice, my previous corporate life, I look at finances all the time. And the thing that I tend to do, I look at payback periods as one financial metric. And I would submit that if you use a massage chair every day, morning and night, like I do, you probably spend an hour or so on a massage chair. And an hour of massage, if you have a massage therapist, you're going to pay $100 an hour. And so, $100, 30 days. So 1 month you're spending $3,000. 2 months you're spending $6,000. 3 months is $9,000. So if you use a massage chair every day, like I do, like literally within a few months, it's paid for. Now, obviously, with all, practicality, you're not going to use a massage therapist, a live one, every day. And so, but even if you say, okay, I use it for once a week, well, 52 weeks in a year, that's $5,200, right? So you're looking at, again, the payback is less than 2 years, even on the higher end type of massage chair. So you have to think long term. What if you're budgeting your resources, you can say, okay, what am I willing to give up? That's a want for this thing that to me is more than a want. To most people, unfortunately, it's really a need. As you age, especially, a massage is not only therapeutic in that it relaxes your muscles and makes you feel better. But I think it's preventive. Like in my case, when I have a degenerative disc situation, where I used to, before I started using a massage chair regularly, every 9 months or so, my back would give out. And those of you that have experienced your back giving out on you, that's not a fun experience. I remember the first time it happened was back in the late 90s, in 1999, in that time frame. We were living in California, in the East Bay at the time. And I was at the bottom of the steps putting on my socks. And all of a sudden, the shooting pain went up my back and I just keeled over. I could not even move. And my teenage son and my wife had to kind of carry me to the sofa where I can just lay down. And then I had to go to a chiropractor, physical therapist, and massage therapy, and all of that treatment. And so when your back gives out, it's a real thing. And I think their American lifestyle tends to be very, we don't move around as much as we should, and technology is a big contributor to that. We sit a lot. And because of that, I think a massage chair is actually preventive as well as therapeutic. And so when you think of that, then, hey, can I give up or trade off a vacation with my family for several $1,000s, for a massage chair that's going to last me years? So you have to kind of do those evaluations as a first-time massage chair buyer.
Well, those are wonderful insights, Tom. Thank you very, very much. This has been a productive interview with you. Thank you. I'm going to have this posted the next day or two on YouTube, and everyone else can hear of your wisdom. But thank you. And you're one of the rare people that we've interviewed that has had, a decade or more of experience with massage chairs. So you have a very well-rounded approach to what the chair can do and what it's done for you, and your feelings about it are well seasoned. So I appreciate that very, very much. But thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining me today. It was good to see you again after all these years. And hopefully we'll see you again for the next one.
Yeah, right now you have 3 locations, right? You have one in Salt Lake City, one in Arizona, and one in Southern California. Yeah,
and we're working on one in the East Bay, but it has been quite a trial trying to get a lease signed and finding a space that's optimal for where we want to go. But yeah, that's where we're at. I'm slow. I started this business in 2005, and it's taken me almost 17 years to open 2 more stores. I'm a little slow on the
You
update.
know, I think just that alone shows that you're not just about growth and not about just selling chairs. Managed growth is so important. You know, I'm an executive consultant, you know, by profession. And, you know, I consult with businesses all the time, you know, all sizes, you know, from mom and pop shops all the way to Fortune 500 companies. And I always caution business owners and top executives to really manage your risk properly, because you're running a marathon. You're not just, you know, sprinting a 100-yard dash. You want to do it in a way that's always going to be serving unmet needs, right? And for business to be sustainable, you have to serve unmet needs. And if you're just about, you know, chasing the dollar, that's not a sustainable business model. You know, like I mentioned to you before, you know, those 3 things I look for in a vendor. And interesting, you know, talk about business. Warren Buffett had an interview one time. Someone asked him, you know, you're such a successful billionaire. What do you look for when you hire people? And he said 3 things. Intelligence, that means a person is a problem solver. 2, strong work ethics, means that you're gonna be very, very diligent and try to solve problems, to serve customers. And then 3, integrity. He said, but if I don't have integrity, I don't even care about the first 2. And so that to me is the ultimate business model to follow. You know, just like it worked for Warren Buffett. You know, you can be the smartest, you can know everything about the product that you're selling. You know, you can work really, really hard to grow your business and build your business. But if you don't have integrity, is meaningless. And so that's what I like about your business. You know, having done business with you now on 2 major purchases, my first chair and now the second chair. You know, I know you're a man of your word, and the fact that you can grow from just one location, you know, into these other major markets, you know, it's a testament to you. I've seen a lot of businesses, they grow all over the place, you know, regional, national, and then they crash and burn because they don't have those 3 things.
Well, thank you. Thanks for the business management lesson too. I feel like I've tapped into your expertise as much as you've tapped into mine, but thank you, Tom. Thank you so much for your kind words, but especially for sharing your experience with the massage chairs. This will benefit many, many other people. So thank you kindly.
Very good. Glad to
right.
do it.
You have a great day,
All
and
right.
we hope to talk to you again soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.